everybody, as promised today I'm going to be reviewing this absolutely gorgeous cream silk overbust corset made by Serindë. So here is the front, the side, the back, and the other side. For the length and fit of this is a sample, so if you're going to be getting a recreation of this corset, Serindë will probably make it in your size, but just for completion, the center front here is 14 inches, and from the peak of the bust down to the bottom here at around the lap area is also 14 inches. You can see that it's a long line corset going over the hips, however it's cut high here to allow for the lap when you are sitting down, but I think this swooping bottom line is absolutely gorgeous. In the bust area, it's not going just straight up, it's actually cupping the breast, which I really like because I feel a lot safer in this corset. And as you can see from these straps, they are adjustable because they have elastic at the back there, as you might have seen when I was showing the back view right there. So I can take, say, a safety pin, or I can actually sew it down a little bit shorter if I wanted to keep it up on my shoulders like this. However, they are adjustable and it's perfectly acceptable to wear them down and off the shoulder if you want a bit of a more romantic look. This is one of my favorite corset silhouettes, where it has a conical rib cage and then it kind of swoops out into a very rounded full hip. This is the most comfortable silhouette for me to wear because it doesn't put any pressure on my hips. And another thing that I really love about this corset is how high up the back comes on me, so that when you can see me in the profile shot, you don't see any muffin top. You know, I don't have another bust on my back, although my wing bones do come over the top a little bit, so you do see that poking out, but that is absolutely no problem to me. So here's a corset laying flat, and for the materials of this, I believe it's 3 separate layers in here. The fashion fabric is this beautiful cream or champagne colored du peony silk with the slubs going horizontally. The strength fabric is herringbone couture, and on the inside you can see that there is a floating liner of lightweight black cotton. Turning the corset on its side here, it's made out of 7 panels. See, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the front, and then 5, 6, 7 in the back. It is enough to give these beautifully full hips and a very smooth transition from the waist into the hips. As well, there are 3 panels here that are encompassing the bust area, which gives a beautiful rounded effect. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Yeah, it gives a nice cupped, smooth area in the bust there. The panels of the silk and the couture together are top stitched between the seams, so they're very strong, and also double boned on the seams here. And like I said before, on the inside here you can see that there is a floating liner, which is very comfortable, and you don't see the boning channels on the inside there. Looking to the inside of the corset here, it's very easy to see a 1-inch wide waist tape running through the entire width of the corset here. It is invisibly stitched underneath the floating liner so it doesn't irritate your skin. And here's a close-up of the binding, which is a contrasting black satin bias tape, neatly machine stitched on the inside and the outside here. You can also see that there are 3 garter tabs on each side in case you want to add garters, for a total of 6. Opening up the back here so you can see the Modesty panel, you can see it's a floating Modesty panel suspended on the laces using this black ribbon here. It's finished in the same du peony silk as the rest of the corset and lightly boned in an X pattern, which I find very comfortable, and it also prevents the Modesty panel from collapsing on you when you're trying to lace up. So I think that's wonderful. Also, there is a 1/2-inch wide Modesty placket, unstiffened, attached to the knob side of the busk here. The busk itself is a standard flexible busk, 1/2-inch wide on each side with 6 knobs. The 2 lowermost knobs are closer together for a little bit more tummy control. But you can also see that she had reinforced the busk with another flat steel bone on either side of it, which helps contribute to a bit more sturdiness. There are 28 bones total in this corset, not including the busk. Double boned on the seams here, so you can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 here because there's not quite enough room to put an extra bone there. Then 2 flat sandwiching the grommets, giving 12, 13, and as I had mentioned before, another flat steel on the side of the busk to make 14 on each side for a total of 28. Just taking a moment here to show you a detail shot of the embellishment on here. You can see that these hand sewn lace motifs are in black are put on there.
Even the motifs, they're beaded and they have sequins on them. It's absolutely beautiful. So Serindë had to cut this out carefully and hand sew it onto the finished corset. And you can also see the Swarovski crystals and the little beads here, glued everywhere, and this very beautiful flossing on the end of each boning channel. This is absolutely gorgeous. And here's a close-up of the grommets. There are 36 total two-part eyelets, actually. These are 5mm prim eyelets. I recognize them to be that anyways. They're about an inch apart on the top and the bottom of the corset, but coming closer to the waist, they're set a little bit closer together for ease of cinching. They're beautiful. I see none of them ripping out here. They're very securely set. And this is typical of the Prim brand two-part eyelets here. Beautiful big washer, very securely set in here. I have absolutely no problems with this whatsoever. The laces are 1/2 inch wide double-faced satin in a contrasting black, and I think it ties the whole thing together quite nicely, pun not intended.
The price for this corset as a sample on Etsy was €390, which converts to around $520 in Canada and the US. However, if you do commission Serindë to make you a corset much like this in a custom size for you, you can expect to pay a little bit more. So that's all for my review of this gorgeous overbust corset handmade by Serindë. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that like button and help support the channel. If you have any other questions or comments about this corset, please leave them in the comments down below and I'll be happy to get back to you. And I'll see you in a few days for the next video. Bye.